Well, Linton, 3 in a row coming into this one. How does it feel, kind of coming in on this big streak? Do you feel like you have a lot of momentum behind you?
Yes, 100%. Obviously, coming back from 3 losses, you definitely have to start thinking what's next. So obviously, I went back, contemplated what to do, and I guess, come back with 3 big wins, so the momentum's on my side, and I'm ready for, this next fight to make another statement, because, I want that gold.
I know heavyweight's kind of a weird place when it comes to momentum. Over the years, we've seen some fighters have, later career resurgences. And I know you're 38 right now, but you're looking better than ever. So what do you kind of attribute that to? Is there anything specific that you feel like has helped you turn that corner and be able to pile up these wins again?
The main thing is just being smart now. I felt like when I was light heavyweight, I was always trying to cut the weight and stay around 230. And I felt like I was always overtraining because I'd go on the scale and maybe the number wasn't right. Maybe a little bit heavier today. And I'm like, well, put more weight on, maybe go for a run. But back then, I didn't know what I was doing. So yeah, obviously I don't have to do that as much now. So if I wake up and I know my body's hurting me a little bit too much, I may take the morning session off and hit the evening, or I may take the whole day off. And that's really, really helped, considering being heavyweight. And
Tyrell, is he a guy that you've trained with before? Because I think he spent a little bit of time at Sanford. Is he somebody you ever got rounds in with?
Fortune, you mean?
Excuse me, yes. Yeah, Tyrell.
Yeah, so before we fought, he came and helped me for I can't remember now, I think it was Phil Davis fight. And we trained for like maybe a week, it wasn't more than, me on my back, then his on top. If I escaped, would go back to that. That's the kind of training we did. So I didn't really know too much of his style. Obviously, I watched his fights and stuff. But I just believed in my own grappling. I have the best grappling coach, Greg Jones. And the kind of training he puts us through, man, it's be first and be last. If you're not, you're going to be on your back. And that's the way he's drummed it into me for the last 7 years. And I felt like that's what happened in that fight.
Yeah.
Whenever he did take me down, as soon as my bum hit the floor, reversal, So I felt like, just working day in, day out, it all ends up paying off.
Yeah, that was obviously a big win for you. And you got Tim Johnson here, who's a guy that holds a win over him as well. What are your thoughts on him, a former UFC fighter, a guy that's, fought some of the best in the world, and big opportunity for you as well coming up here?
Yeah, exactly. I think he stands up to his name, the Bear. He's a big dude. He comes in, comes to rush you and spoil you and throws big, heavy haymakers. So obviously I've got to be on my toes and counter-punch him and take him down and drown him. My style's not going to change. Everyone asks what I'm going to do. My fight style stays the same. It's, can you stop it? And the record speaks for itself. It can't be stopped.
It's hard to get win streaks in the heavyweight division, and you're on a pretty good one. This could be 4 in a row. Do you feel like there's a title shot opportunity at stake here for you?
It has to be. Scott Coker, where you at? Can't see you, but it has to be. What more can I do? But again, we'll get to that when it comes. Tim's first. I can't look past him, and then we'll decide what's next. Thank you.
Hey, Linton, just one for me. There's over 22 million trees in your hometown of Milton Keynes. Apologies if I'm mispronouncing that. I was curious if growing up, did you spend a considerable amount of time enjoying that nature of the different parks, rivers, woodlands?
As a kid, I used to climb the trees and stuff. I'm from a place called Milton Keynes, which you named. It's not very hot out there, so when it is, warm, we like to go out. But as a kid, I used to climb the trees quite a lot and, play out and stuff. So that's a fun fact you just told me.
What's up, Lyndon? We just spoke with Tyrell. I just asked him this, so I got to ask you too.
Yeah.
Heading into that split decision, into the announcement of the decision, did you feel like you had done enough to secure that victory?
Yeah, to be honest, I felt like I won all 3 rounds. But when they did do that, I thought they're gonna, my friends, fuck me over. I really thought that. They didn't. and I'm obviously grateful for that because I felt like I did win all 3 rounds. Even if they gave him 1 round for some reason, I felt like I dominated 2, whatever it is. There was never a point where I was on my back long enough than even 5 seconds, probably 10 seconds. You know, so I wouldn't have seen how they would have scored him, you know, around, considering a lot of the fight was on the ground.
And you said on Instagram that commitment means staying loyal to what you said you was going to do long after the mood you set it in has left you. I thought that was a cool quote. How do you apply that same mindset this deep into your career?
Because you can't say you're going to do something and not deliver. You know, and I'm a firm believer. If I say I'm going to do something, I like to be a man of my word and do it.
And just by chance, did you watch UFC London a couple weeks ago? And if you did, how did it feel to watch your fellow Englishman secure 4 victories? And who are you most excited to watch? The future of Paddy, Aspinall, Arnold Allen? Who are you most excited to see in the future?
I'm looking forward to Aspinall. He really did surprise me. I did not expect him to walk through Volkov,
yep.
like that. I did not, you know. But yeah, it was obviously great to see, you know, the UK boys representing. So yeah, I think he's maybe even be the next world champion. I don't know if it's a bit too soon yet, but at some point I see him being a champion. He's got the striking and he's got the grappling.
We'll take a couple questions from the Zoom. Nathan, go ahead.
So I didn't hear a word of that. I didn't hear nothing. You was on mute or very low.
I'm sorry, I'll try to speak up.
Yeah, no worries. Wait, they're too loud now. Wait there. We'll get you there.
All right, I'm going to switch the question.
No, that's good. I can hear you now. There we go. Yep.
The big swarm.
Yes.
Where did that come from? And is this an official name change?
Well, yes, it's an official name change. And the big swarm came from now I'm heavyweight. It just made sense, you know, changing. Because I felt like when I was the swarm, Linton Vassell at light heavyweight, I did what I could at light heavyweight. Moved to heavyweight, put on the size a little bit. And it actually came from one of my coaches and friends, Greg Jones and Sean Soriano. I came into the gym once and they were like, damn, you big swarm. And that's how it stayed. And now all the boys call me it. So it's an official name change. And I can't say I love it. I love it. So it's a good name change, I think.
Last question for you. I know that you're not overlooking Tim.
Yes.
But if you are to win, and if for some reason you don't get the title shot next, would you rather avenge your loss to Moldavsky or fight Fedor?
Oof. That's a good question. Man, I might have to go for the revenge. So that's Moldavsky, yeah, that's Moldavsky. I can't let that lie. But yeah, Fedor fight would be amazing, but I think the revenge would be much more sweeter.
All right, a couple more here. Ike?
Hey, Linton, how you doing, brother?
How you doing?
Excellent, man. Obviously, right in my write-up, you are the longer ranger fighter. I think it's a good chance that you can get past him. No offense to Tim, but I think you have the momentum, and I think you're hitting a new peak.
Thank you.
Career. Looking forward to the Bader Czech Congo fight in Paris. How do you see that fight going?
It's a tough one. We because obviously the way the first fight went, Bader was able to control him. So obviously for Bader to win, you know, obviously you'd have to take him down and try and control him again like that. But for Czech, we'd have to land his heavy punches and his knees. Again, Czech's my friend, so obviously it'd be nice to see my friend win the title. But it's a tough fight for both of them, to be honest. So the best man win. That's my prediction.
Next question, Raul.
Hi, can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Awesome. Raul here from Low Kick MMA. You mentioned how excited you were to see the rise of UK talent, more specific, the rise of Tommy Aspinall. Is there any advice you would give to a young heavyweight like him coming out of the UK?
Yeah, well, from the mistakes I've made is don't rush. You know, the finishes will come, and again, not that he needs to learn that, but at least learn your discipline, whether it be ground or striking, and try and make that the most dominant. And I feel like that's what I try to do. I know my ground's unstoppable right now, and I believe in that as well. So I always try and make sure that, you know, I do enough in that. I don't try and stay away from that. But then I still try my boxing as well. But that's my best advice. You know, if there's something that you're good at, stay at that, and then make that be your main weapon.
Thank you so much.
No worries.
Next question will come from Polly. Polly.
Can't really hear you. A little bit, maybe a little bit louder.
I just wanted to ask you, being that you're going into your 31st fight with a record of 21-8, you fought some of the best in the world, guys like Ryan Bader, Phil Davis. Which fighters do you think made you a better fighter at this point in your career?
The Modosky fight, I'm gonna say, because I felt like the loss to Ryan Bader, Phil Davis, I didn't really learn. You know, I took the losses, but once I had that third loss, I felt like that was a slap. That was a slap I needed to really be like Linton, what are you gonna do? And that's what's made me, you know, be on a 3-fight winning streak right now and dominating some of them fights as well. So yeah, definitely the Modosky fight, and I feel like that's why it's, to me, we need that rematch at some point in my career.